Good morning, everybody. It's the pollinator, and yeah, it's been a little bit longer than I thought it would be before I made a follow-up vlog to the one that I made. What day was that? Wednesday morning. So yeah, now it's Saturday, and I thought I'd get on here to. This may go all over the place, so you'll have to bear with me. I'm going to say up front that I tend to make long videos. So if your attention span is a little short, on the short end of things, then you're not going to catch everything that I say. But I'm not going to try to front load these things to say what's more important than any other. If you miss the middle or the end, okay, then you miss it, and you probably won't get the gist of the entire messages that I intend in these vlogs. So if you're seeing them for the first time, again, I'm going to remind people to, if you want to be notified when I do upload videos, you'll need to subscribe and click the bell. Now, let me tell you a little bit something about subscribing. If you don't have a public Google Plus, just Google account, I'm not even going to know you're there. I'm not going to know you subscribed. I won't know anything unless you comment in my vlogs. Then I'll know of your presence. Otherwise, I have a list of people that I know are actually subscribers, and then there's probably a whole bunch of people that I have no idea that they are subscribed to my channel. That's the way it works. The handshaking going on between Google and YouTube, which, by the way, I think Google now owns YouTube, or the other way around. Yeah, I think Google bought YouTube, so they are like this. All these monopolies are jumping in bed with each other. What that means, I can only speculate, and I'm not willing to do that right now. But so let me tell you something strange that just happened to me over the last 3 days, I think, or 4 days. Some little monster sent herself out to test my resolve about what. Now, this is my story about it, about what I've said in my last couple of videos about the transformational work of landmark education and the form. First of all, that work is about transformation. It is not about change. And you would actually have to go and research that kind of thing yourself. I am not a forum leader, so I'm not here to educate people on the differences between transformation and change. But there is a difference. There's a very profound difference. Like I said, it does not, the landmark form doesn't take everything about you and turn you inside, inside out, upside down. Not just that seminar, in my humble opinion. You would have to do the entire curriculum, and I've done the curriculum, and I did the introduction leader program, 26 years ago. It took me over a year to be certified, and yeah, my life was changed forever after having done the curriculum and then done that training. In fact, when I'm speaking, what I realized about the vlog that I made the day before the seminar started was that I still speak from that that business. A lot of things, you wouldn't know it unless you've actually done that work to be able to hear when I'm speaking from that work and when I'm not, because I'm also speaking from many other things that I've done, just not just Landmark. So yeah, you'd have to know a lot of that language to know when I am, when some of the words that I use are coming from Landmark and when they're not coming from Landmark. So back to this strange woman that came out of nowhere. Um, she sent she responded in one of the vlogs that I sent into a group, and I get email notifications when people respond to stuff that I post on Google Plus. So I got this email, and then I went to click the link because I saw what she said in the email. But then when I went to go click the link to the group that I posted it in, what she said was gone out of that group. And I thought, well, that was strange. I wonder why that was. So she asked me, she said something about needing some kind of help. I had no idea what kind. And to meet her hit her up in Hangouts. And it took me a little bit to figure out how to do that because I didn't know her, and we had no connection whatsoever except that group. So I had to finagle some things to figure out how to invite her in the Hangouts. And then I just let it go. And about a day later or something, she responded. And so I said just a little bit. I archived the conversation. So I said just a little bit, and then I said, "What's up?" And she said something about school, and then said something about wanting to make changes, make some changes. And I said, well, if you're referring to my YouTube videos if you're talking about Landmark, that work is about transformation, not change. So, and then I said some other things, and then I basically said that I would have to know what she wants, basically, and who is she? How old is she? You know, just basically trying to get somewhat of some kind of an idea of who she was. And after I said those things, a day later, see, this has been going on for three days. So she comes back and says, no thanks, no thank you, I'm good. And I'm like, okay, what is this? Who is this? And what is this? And why did you know, what is going on here? So I quickly said, well, you know, why did you ask me to even come into Hangouts if you didn't want to tell me what in the heck you're talking about here? And I don't like having my time wasted, basically. No, I said I didn't like people playing games. Now, and have a good day, basically. I mean, I don't know this person. I knew zero about this individual. So, so I quickly decided I'm not wasting my time on whoever this is, since they wanted to be very not even vague, not even on the map of vague. Just what was the point? So so I archived the conversation, and then I deleted everything that was in there because, you know, I wasn't going to deal with whatever that was. I don't owe anything to anybody. When I said that I'm standing for humanity and I'm standing for the possibility of healing of the planet. I did not mean I'm anybody's savior. Doesn't mean I'm anybody's therapist. Doesn't mean I'm going to help everybody personally, because no, that is not what I meant. But see, here's what kind of occurred to me, that I have no idea how many videos this particular woman had seen. I don't know, since I haven't had a conversation with her, I don't know what she knows, what she was able to pick up from watching my videos. There's 92 of them right now. And what she wasn't able to pick up on, as far as what I was talking about in regards to everything I said in my last video, or what she didn't know. What do I know? So I guess if that was a test to see if I'd changed, or to see if I transformed, or to see anything, I guess I failed that test, and I did it on purpose. I wasn't going to expose myself to some strange, crazy woman who came out of nowhere wanting my help, but not wanting my help, or I don't know what that was. So, and I truly, it did not fall within the realm of my fight or flight mode. It fell in the realm of, oh no, I'm not going to play this, whatever this is. I don't have to play that. How I transform the planet, where I stand in terms of how I'm going to be part of the solution and not the problem, is where I choose to stand, not where somebody else thinks they're choosing me to stand. It ain't going to go down like that. They ain't in my head. I'm not in their head. They're not in my life. I wasn't in her life. She wasn't in my life. I mean, what the heck did I really care what that individual wanted, who wouldn't say what she wanted? No, that doesn't even come close to what I was talking about as far as what happened to me last weekend. Last weekend was more, the breakthroughs that I had were around the people in my life that I know. Not some strange cuckoos on the internet that I don't know. It's up to me whether I want to get to know them or not. It's up to me whether I wanted to waste my time pulling information out of her or not. It's just all up to me. I'm not some kid and I'm not somebody who will help everybody on the planet. Oh no, I wouldn't last a week trying to fix or save or help everybody on this planet. Get real, whoever you are. You know who you are. Yeah, you know your name. I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are. So that was that. You know, people don't have anything better to do than to stand in judgment of other people when they don't even know who they're talking to, and to, you know, test them to see, I don't know what that was. I don't know what that test was. I just know it was a test. Oh, she said, well, I don't see much growth or something like that. Well, she would have to know me personally to know where I grew and where I didn't grow. All of that stuff happened inside of me. Nobody else gets to define what's going on inside of me and where I'm having breakthroughs and the transformation that occurred, unless they have many private conversations with me about who I am and where I came from. No way in hell, even with 92 videos on that channel, you're seeing a snapshot of who I am. Compared to 60 years of being on the planet, you are seeing 1/100,000th of who I am in my videos. So don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that when you are watching and listening to people speak on videos on YouTube. You have no idea who they are, not really, not unless you are moved to find out who they are and let them get to know who you are so that you can have a two-way conversation with them, not a one-way conversation where they got a microscope on you for some reason and they're not exposing anything about themselves. Oh, that's not gonna work. so so okay, so that was that. Now, so a little bit about one of the vlogs I made, which wasn't the last two I made, but I explained something about what happened inside of the forum, in terms of the first hour. I think I said I was giving away a trade secret. That during the first hour, hour one, that the forum leader has conversations about who chose to be there versus who felt pressured to be there or whatever, and give them an opportunity to leave. They did away with that. A lot has changed with the delivery of that seminar, and a lot hasn't changed. I mean, the core technology has not changed, just in how they deliver it has changed. So that was pretty cool. I was pretty surprised. In fact, I was in my head probably the first day I was in my head on and off throughout the first part of that day, because I kept thinking, whoa, he's bringing up terminology that I actually knew, but that I wasn't in touch with in the present. That it all pertained to things that were going on when I was, gosh, how old was I? I was in my mid-30s. So the language and the technology applied to me when I was that age, not with 25 years, 24 years in between. So I was in my head about that. Like, what is going on here? I was confused. Because I was having a conversation with myself versus listening to everything he was talking about. And I kept going back to, well, wait a minute, I know this work. How come I forgot about rackets. I forgot about this. I forgot about that. And so I'm going, while he's talking about rackets, which is very akin to racketeering, the kind of racketeering that went on in the mob. I forgot the other word for them, but you know what racketeers are. While they've got all this stuff going on that people can see, there's stuff going on in another room that is completely opposite of what people are seeing. So they applied that word to something similar with how human beings operate, where you've got all this pretty nice front going on up front while all this other stuff is going on behind you, which is the stuff that you don't know, that you don't even know is going on in your back room. Okay, that's the best way I can explain it. I am not a forum leader. I am not talking about this trying to enroll anybody in the forum, and I'm not doing the forum on you because I'm not a forum leader. Those guys, those men and women, take at least 6 years, 6 or 7 years to become forum leaders. So no way on earth am I speaking from a place of educating you about the forum, because I'm not. You actually have to do the seminar to know. Nor am I enrolling you. I cannot enroll anybody into that seminar without having a personal conversation with you. And it must be one over the phone. It's not going to be one on the internet. It's not going to, no. That is not how you get authentic with people in your lives, or strangers even. The internet, there's just too much that can be missing from the communications on the internet for you to have that kind of conversation with people without them hearing your voice, without them either hearing your voice or sitting across from you. That is not a good idea. And it's not what I'm doing anyway. I'm not enrolling you in the forum in these videos. So I did want to say something about the delivery, and in case anybody also wondered whether it was a cult or not. No, it's not a cult. I know something about cults because I used to kind of study them a little bit, especially when it came to the Manson, that Manson guy, and his followers that ran out and committed suicide for that guy. I used to look at that, but my already always listening. That's another thing. I don't feel like explaining what that is. That is another part of the conversation and the language in the forum. But my head said the same thing about Alcoholics Anonymous. It said, my head said that was a cult. And the very, very, very first time I was exposed to this work, it was not the forum. It was Est. I thought that was a cult. I was just suspicious. I'm so suspicious of anything new presented to me that I don't, when I first come in contact with it, I get a strange feeling, or I don't have a level of comfort with it, or something like that. I will make shit up about what it is. And without investigating it, without trying or whatever, I'm prone to doing what most human beings are when it comes to stuff like that. You know, just totally not getting it, not believing it, not anything like that. And so, I'm going to try not to make this really long, but it's probably going to end up that way anyway. But, so a lot of the, I don't even want to say concepts, but the technology in there is like trying on a coat. See if it fits. If it fits, wear it. Buy it. Wear it. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. So it's not something to believe like this is the truth or it's a lie. Nothing like that. It's just something to try on as the forum leader is talking. You're trying on all these various things all over your life. And there's probably no possible way that everything said is adopted in your psyche. You know, because it is information overload. That seminar. So considering, you know, we're probably only taking in a portion of what's going on in there, the fact that we have breakthroughs with what actually goes in and stays in there is remarkable. Absolutely remarkable that happens, considering the amount of information, the strangeness of the language, and everything that's going on there is absolutely phenomenal that these breakthroughs occur, despite the fact that we cannot process that much information 100%. So, okay, so some other things, another thing that I had a breakthrough Sunday, and by the time that I had it, you know, the seminar was almost over. Tuesday night is completion, but the majority of the work that is done within those 3 days. And I didn't realize this until the dinner, until the dinner break on Sunday, which was all throughout my life since I was 10 years old and forward. I said that I made what happened in that neighborhood, the first couple of nasty things that happened in that neighborhood, I said that that I made it mean I don't belong. But my little young brain figured out a strategy to how I could feel like I belonged without belonging. And that was to not belong to any one particular group. I just moved around. I belonged to every group, not belonged, but I hung out around every different kind of group in school. I hung around my family. I hung around friends in the neighborhood. I hung around all of those different kinds of groups and people without really plugging in to any one group. I didn't have a favorite group, and I just moved around these groups. Thereby, inside of myself, that was the only way I felt I could belong, was by not belonging. So let me tell you what happened last weekend. Was that every time a break happened and I came back, I sat in a different seat. I might have been sitting on the right, I might have been sitting on the left, I might have been sitting in the middle, and I kept moving around like that through the entire seminar. And somebody actually made a comment that, damn, every time you come back here, you're somewhere else in the room. And it just was like, okay, noted. But I didn't realize what I had been doing, that I'd been doing since childhood, until the Sunday night dinner, until the break for dinner. And I noticed people were gathering in little cliques over here and little cliques over there and little cliques over here and blah, blah, blah. And then when it came time for everybody to disperse to wherever they were going to go eat that night, I was standing there. I hadn't joined a clique. I hadn't joined a group of people. I had made connections and bonds with individual people in the seminar, but I still have a story and a conversation going on in my head about cliques and about small groups of people and larger groups of people. I still don't like them. I still don't. That is not my comfort zone, is to belong to cliques. And I've said that in previous videos. So again, this work is about transformation, not change. It was about change. I might have grown an affinity for cliques, but I didn't. And I felt kind of strange about that, but very quickly I said, you know what, it's totally fine for me to eat by myself tonight. Because up until that point, I had been going out to dinner with groups. We were asked to go to get in groups and to talk about certain things during dinner. Sunday night, that was not said. So I didn't. I just went out to eat by myself, and I was perfectly fine with that. That is my comfort zone. Being a loner is my comfort zone anyway. So it was no big deal. But it was something that I saw from the inside out versus seeing it from the outside in, if that makes any sense. Do I need to change this? Probably not. Am I okay with knowing that I do this? Yeah, I'm okay with it. Is it likely to change? I don't know. Did I just say that? But that's not a sticking point in my life, whether or not I grow an affinity for cliques or not. Big deal. So that was a little breakthrough. Then I had another one with regards to wanting to do further work with Landmark, because I knew as soon as I shared that the forum leader, other people that were volunteers to do the logistics for the forum, and there were other people in the room that were training to be introduction leaders for the forum. I knew that they would pull me into the work, but I still had this, no, I'm not committed to that going on in my head, and I'm still not, because I can't do what I'm up to and do that at the same time. And I'll say more about that a little later. So I'm sitting there, and the conversation starts about this course called the Advanced course, which I had done a long time ago. Sometime after I had done the forum and I had done the follow-up seminar to the forum, I enrolled in the Advanced course. So that conversation started again that night. And you know what? I immediately felt nauseous. I felt sick to my stomach. And I was sitting there next to this guy, and I was telling him that I don't feel very good, and this conversation is rubbing me the wrong way, and I don't want nothing to do. And I started explaining the circumstances, the reasons why I did not want to do the Advanced course again. And as I'm sitting here talking to him and explaining all these reasons and feeling more and more nauseated by my own freaking conversation about it, I stopped abruptly and said, I'll be right back. And I got up and left and went to see about that course. Now, let me tell you, that was not in the foreground of my mind to do that. In fact, what was in the foreground of my mind was to stand on the position that I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to get sucked into any of this shit all over again and repeat that track, repeat the curriculum for living with Landmark, because that's not what I was committed to. But I saw something that course could do with regards to my business. And so a little part of me really wanted to go for it, while this bigger conversation was going on in my head about why I didn't want to. So yeah, I got up, ran off, and while I went that way, the guy I was sitting with asked me where the guy was that called out to me during my share. And I said, oh, well, he's over there somewhere. And so he went another direction. So while I'm sitting in the back, he had no idea why I just stopped the conversation abruptly and left. And he just went on to do whatever he wanted to do. So I'm sitting there and I'm inquiring about that seminar. And because of I asked her a question, and she got up and said she needed to go ask somebody about it. So she got up and left the table. And when she came back, she confirmed the question that I asked, and I said, okay, all right, I'm going to go for it. So I did all the paperwork for that. And then I got up and went back to my seat. And I sat down, and the guy I was sitting to looked at me kind of strange, like, where the hell did you go? And I said, let me tell you why I abruptly left. I said, because, yeah, I enrolled in this seminar because I didn't want to enroll in the seminar. Can I make any rational sense of that? No. That's just what I did. And he was so moved that I did that. Just like that. That he started getting emotional, and I started getting a little emotional, and then he said, after you got up, I went over and talked to that guy who talked to the forum leader to try to get you some help to do this seminar. I broke down. Now, when I say broke down or that I was crying, I don't mean I was wailing or crying like that. I mean, I was just very, very moved. And I couldn't believe he did that. I told him, you know, rarely in my life do people really take a stand for me. I'm the one that's usually taking a stand for other people, but rarely does it come in the other direction. And I just so appreciated him for that. Um, and then, and then, and then there was a break. And but before the break, he said, so for you people, this was Sunday night. So for you people that have graduates in the room, you know, I want you to get the opportunity to acknowledge them sitting in your chair. And for you that don't have anybody here, as to the reason why you did the form, then just, you know, okay, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I suppose he was talking to somebody who made a difference for you in the seminar. So I'm just sitting there. I'm still moved by what the guy next to me had said and the way he was being, and just, that man was all about love. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, one by one, people were coming up to me and saying I'm the one who gave them their breakthrough. One person after the other, after the other, after the other. And every time another person walked up to me, I just lost it. I was so, I was so moved that I had made that kind of impact, and that, and people were coming up and acknowledging me for that, because I just didn't know. I got moved by some people, and, you know, right after they moved me, I went up and said something to them throughout the seminar. But that particular time, I was just sitting there because I figured in my head, well, I put myself in the form. Nobody enrolled me in the form. I did it because I thought it was time to do it again. So that was just absolutely remarkable, the way all that went down. Another thing is that people who have seen some of my older videos knows that I was in a relationship with someone that I really loved, and her name was Tisha, and I completed with Tisha during that seminar too, or maybe it was afterwards. I think it was Monday night. But and in my head, completion is like making an amends, clearing the space, whatever, is exactly to me like making an amends in Alcoholics Anonymous. So a lot of this technology, you know, is piggybacking off of each other in my mind, in my psyche. But I was so freed up by what happened over the weekend that it was extremely easy for me to make amends to her, to clear the space, to apologize for where I saw I was wrong in that relationship. You know, that I said something really funny without explaining it, and that our rackets were compatible. You know, where she got stuck and weirded out in her life is, you know, and where I got stuck and weirded out in my life was talking to each other. And that wasn't going to work. Because we were running, you know, both of us for different reasons were running dysfunctional shit back and forth. But we got to laugh about that and clear the space. And I told her, you know, I didn't call you to want anything from you. The only thing I did want was her forgiveness for not knowing what the hell I was doing with her, what I was doing in that relationship, and why things went, you know, why things went so south. Now, when you're making amends in Alcoholics Anonymous, you just make amends for your side of it. It's not that you're taking blame or all the fault for everything that happened and didn't happen in the relationship. It's just you're looking at your part. That's it. It's not that I don't see her part. I do. But that wasn't my business to put that in the space. All it was my business to put in the space was what I had done, what I had seen, what I could atone for. And in my head, when you make an amends, you don't repeat that behavior again, ever. Whatever it was that you saw as being fucked up about yourself in relation to that person, you do not repeat. So yeah, I made my amends to her. We didn't take it any further than just being friends again, and which is what I wanted a while ago. But I proceeded to take that and sabotage that too, just to put my running shoes on and split, right? And all of these things are things that I did not know until I knew them. I didn't know that I didn't know them until it was all revealed in that work and transformed the conversation that I was having in my head about her. Now, it didn't transform every conversation I'm having about everybody or everything. No, that's not how it works. I will be a human being meaning machine. We all make everything mean something. We will do that all of our lives. And we'll make things mean stuff that disempowers us. We will make things mean stuff that will, cause us to have this kind of reaction to things where, yeah, the shit comes out our neck. We act it out in strange ways where we don't even know why we're doing that. So yeah, I had a very, very authentic conversation with my ex, and it was just really, really real. And the last thing I'm gonna say is that that I said something, and this is not all. This is not it. There were things that I saw when I played back my last video that I wanted to talk about, but I'm not gonna talk about all of that stuff that I saw. So I actually, I said in my last vlog that I wasn't willing to tell my father where he did it right with me, but I did. I just did it in writing. I didn't do it over the phone. I didn't have enough courage or enough of something to do that over the phone with him versus in an email. But in 2016, I wrote him an email that acknowledged blow by blow everything about me that I got from him and what works about me that came with what works about him. I did that blow by blow. But I did not have the wherewithal to do it over the phone because I still had this conversation in my head that either he would reject it or that his comeback to me was going to be something that would upset me instead of just standing that this is how I feel, and his response didn't matter, but I knew that it would, so I didn't do it over the phone. I chickened out, in other words. I did I think that to me it was like a half-baked job of what I ended up doing over the phone. And I didn't have a lot of time to go into detail with him because I was on a break when I called him. And he answered on the first ring, which was pretty incredible. So I didn't have time to go blow by blow. And he may or may not have remembered that email that I sent 2 years ago. But but I was trying to connect the dots with, that's what I emailed you, but this, now you're hearing it from me to you. So that's it for this vlog. You know, as more things, I am going to, sometimes I go back, I look at my vlogs and I make notes about what I said. Because when you're just talking off the cuff and you're not reading from notes, it's very difficult to even follow myself or fill in the gaps of what I wanted to say that I didn't say. So I make notes to go back and fill in the gaps, and I'm gonna do that with that with the video I made last Wednesday morning. I may have filled it all in for all I know. I have to go back and look at it again to know whether I did that or not. So I want everybody to have a blessed Sunday, you know, for you church-going folks. And you know what? I still haven't forgot that other video I wanted to make about, you know, what I'm seeing in this country around this whitewashed version of Christianity. And when I say whitewashed, I really mean it, folks. I mean that that black people have been latching on to this messed up version of Christianity that has them disempowered, period. And that people are absolutely ignoring pieces of those 7 deadlies, quote, sins. They choose to ignore some of them, and those other ones they don't. And a lot of them, they're just, ugh. Anyway, that's different conversation, different topic for another day. I'm still gonna make that video, but not until I feel complete about the what happened in Landmark. And if any of this sparks questions in your mind about it, you know, just put them in the comments, and I do make a point of responding to all the comments. As long as they're not bullshit. If they're bullshit, I'm not going to respond. I'll probably delete it and block you. That's how I'm wired. That did not change. I ain't got time for bullshit, people. If you're in your childhood and you're in your teens and you're in your 20s and you're in your 30s and some people in their 40s, they don't have the same relationship with time that I do. I don't think I have a lot of time to waste. So I try to the best of my ability not to waste it. And if people step to me wanting to waste my time, I kick you to the curb. And don't even blink. So don't assume you understand where I stand based on 40-something minutes of a vlog I made where you have no idea where I'm coming from, and you don't know who I am, and you don't know me, and I don't know you. So until that happens, until some kind of relationship is established, I don't have any affinity for you. I have an affinity for mankind. I have an affinity for humanity, but that does not mean I like or am trying to like everybody on the planet. Wrong answer, because I am not doing that. That is not what my stand means. I'm implementing it in my own way, not your way. Yeah, like that. So everybody had a good Sunday, and Pollinator is out. Peace.